Welcome to Breakfast Food, the weekly feel-good podcast with stupid stories, anecdotes and advice you never even knew you wanted from your dear friends Cara
and Annabel. Hello!
Episode 2. We made it!
we came back. We did it again.
We came back.
We came back. You came back to your cupboard and I abandoned my cupboard.
Your cupboard is gone. We tried another cupboard. It was even worse.
It was terrible. It was a bad cupboard and there wasn't even any internet signal. Do you still say that? Internet signal? No, you don't.
Internet.
Do you? Wi-Fi.
What else? Wi-Fi, broadband, dial-up.
I sound like an old lady. Oh, well.
Well, you already told everybody what your age was last week, so...
Exactly. You can decide whether that's old or not. I can't help it.
My knees hurt and that's okay.
That's fine. I always wake up in pain. It's okay. It's normal.
I have a cough. I don't know where it came from. I don't think it's ever going to leave. I'm probably fine.
What is that growing on my foot? Oh, I don't know.
These are the questions.
These are the questions. And yes, how's your few days been since I last spoke to you?
It has been eventful.
Yes.
I found out that I'm moving into my new flat much earlier than expected in the middle of a lockdown.
That's so cool. That's something to tell the grandkids.
Yeah, I know. I moved in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, so there's that. I'm trying to think what else. I made more bread.
Excellent.
And I did not explode the oven this time.
And what kind of bread were you making? Is it
every single time it's the exact same white loaf?
Excellent. I mean, that's the standard, isn't it? Like that's the kind of.
I feel like I should
base.
I feel like I should get that one correct, and then I'll move on to something else.
I like that. Do you have any thoughts of your next steps? What is the next level up?
Well, what I want to do is white bread rolls.
I wouldn't even know how to. Oh wait, no, I do know how to make it into a roll. Yeah, no, that's fine. I did watch some Bake Off. I'm clued in. Good. I'm on the same page as you.
Speaking of Bake Off, completely.
Ooh.
Have you ever watched The Great Pottery Throwdown?
Well, no, but that's brilliant.
It is incredible. It's literally Great British Bake Off, or the Great British Baking Show, I think they call it in America. Except it's for making pottery, and I have never been so invested ever in anything.
I feel like I might. No, I didn't see the pottery. I saw one about glass blowing.
Yes, I've seen that one. I can't remember what it's called, but I've seen that one as well.
Excellent.
That one's very good, except it's very American.
Yes.
It's not as sweet as the Great Pottery Throwdown is. They always help each other and they always carry each other's stuff. And one of the best things about it is one of the presenters, I don't know his name, as we discovered last week, I can't remember anyone's name ever, but the male presenter, if he sees something he likes, he will just cry.
Oh.
He will see a pot that he doesn't actually like all that much, but then pick it up and the weight will be really nice and he will start crying because the weight is so nice.
Oh, bless.
It's so good.
That sounds lovely.
Worth a watch.
Thanks.
Cara's Worth a Watch weekly update.
Yeah, that's coming thick and fast.
Yeah, I know. That's not even my recommendation for this week. That's not till the end.
Very exciting.
Something that I did leave hanging from last week that I wanted to revisit was my story about the luckiest unlucky man.
Yes. Everyone will be like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I know. I just totally left you hanging last week because I didn't have all the details. I have them now. I'm ready to talk about him. I feel mentally prepared to bring this man up.
I'm very much looking forward to hearing all about him, who he is, and how he survived.
How he
got himself so happy. I can't speak.
Yeah. How is he still alive? Who knows? Once you hear all of the things that he has had happen to him, you will not be able to figure out why he's still alive.
Amazing.
So his name is Frayne Selleck, and he has, like I said before in the last episode, he has essentially cheated death 7 times, which makes him both the luckiest and unluckiest man to have been in deadly situations 7 times in the first place. So the first one was in 1962, and he was on a train, and the train somehow flipped off the tracks and crashed into a river.
Holy crap.
Someone pulled this guy, Frayne, to the side, and all he had was a broken arm and hypothermia.
Whoa.
In the meanwhile, 17 other passengers drowned in that accident. So literally the year after that, he went on his first and only plane ride.
Okay.
And on that plane ride, he was blown out of a malfunctioning plane door.
No, that doesn't happen.
It did to Frayne. It did. And somehow he landed relatively unharmed in a haystack.
What are the chances you're
in a haystack?
How high was this plane?
I don't know. The plane crashed and 19 people died. I shouldn't laugh.
I know, but this is...
But this man was just in a haystack. What the hell? So 3 years after that, a bus that he was riding skidded off the road and into a river.
No, you'd be like, not again.
I know. He must genuinely be like, why do I ever take public transport? Yeah. 4 people drowned, but he managed to swim to the shore with just a couple of cuts and bruises and nothing else.
He was like, I've done this before. I know what to do.
Yeah, I know exactly what to do when I crash into a lake.
Oh my God.
So clearly Frayne decided, no more public transport for me, no more trains, buses, none of that. I'm going to get myself a car.
Okay.
When he got himself a car, he went on to have 3 separate car accidents between the years of 1970 and 1999 and survived all of them.
Oh my gosh.
And somewhere in the middle of these 3 car crashes, he was hit by a bus and survived.
I feel like, okay, some of these are super, incident, you couldn't have prevented them. But there are, maybe a few times, maybe he's not the most observant of people, maybe.
So that's what I would say about the car crashes for sure. With the car crashes, it's you have one. Although, to be fair, when I was reading into it, the first car crash was actually his engine had caught on fire.
Oh, no.
There's actually some speculation around the next 2 crashes. People are thinking maybe Frayne's, hamming it up a little bit.
He's getting into this.
There was another oil leak one, and then there was one where he collided with another car, have swerved into that bit at the side of the road that kind of stops cars going off cliffs, barged through it, and then ended up managing to get ejected from his car and sort of rolled to safety.
Oh my God.
So regardless as to whether those last 2 claims were true or false, that's still 5 proven times that he has evaded death, and then 2 possible times that he's evaded death.
He kind of, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you too much,
no, go.
He's sort of, I'm picturing basically Mr. Bean, and I'm just,
it's very Bean.
And I'm just imagining him in the plane, and he's looking at these buttons and gears, and he's like, what does this do?
What do I do? Yeah, I can see that. It's the same with thinking that he's pressing the button on the bus to tell the bus driver he wants to get off.
It's the
but in
eject
actual
button.
fact he's broken the emergency window somehow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can see him leaning on the plane door handle and then just going out with the door.
Yeah.
So after his last crash in 1996, all was quiet in this man's life until 2 days after his birthday in 2003, where he won £702,920 playing the lottery.
Congratulations.
So after all this, after a life just full of almost dying, he ends it by winning £700,000 in the lottery.
Well, if there's, this is definitely going to be one of those stories that people are like, well, if that isn't God, I don't know what is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
To be fair, why would, if it were a deity, why would you forever play with this man in this way?
What did he do to
Just
you?
like, yeah, God was bored, and so they put this man in yet another car crash. Like, what?
And in weirdly quite comedic ways. It doesn't sound really bad, but I mean, who gets sucked off a plane? I'm sorry.
The thing is, it's of course, let's preface this, I'm sure everybody knows, any and all forms of accident, car accident, anything, it's all horrible, right?
Yeah.
But see, when you add in the line, and landed in a haystack, anything's funny. Anything's funny.
It is. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, that it gives me slight hope, because I'm guessing, he was a pretty chill, ordinary guy. He wasn't like Bear Grylls, like, who knew about survival techniques. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So
he's just a guy.
Just weirdly resilient guy, and maybe we are more absorbent on impact than I think. Maybe they do say when you are hurtling through the air to completely relax, and then...
Well, apparently that's why babies could like there's loads of stories of like a baby fell out of a 2-story window and was totally fine. There's loads of stories of that, and apparently it's because the babies don't know to tense yet. So instead of falling out the window and tensing up and hurting all their muscles and whatnot, they just kind of flop out the window, flop onto the floor, and then are totally fine.
It's kind of how I go through life, so maybe mentally. If I'm overwhelmed, I just lose my muscles and I just will fall to the floor.
You just flop.
I just lie there.
Have you seen, I'm sure you have seen the videos of those goats that if you scare them, they just stiffen up and fall over?
Yeah, I feel them, I get them. Yes.
Yeah. I've been there. I've done it.
Still do it. It's been a weird week, okay?
So that was a continuation of my fascinating story from last week.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. It was I'm sure everyone was on tender hooks waiting.
I'm sure.
But no, that's awesome.
Waiting to find out.
That's a very cool story and a fun story, and it's sort of laughing in the face of death, which
very much so, which is I guess a theme for everyone currently, really.
I guess it's very dramatic, but yeah, I think you're right. Shall I just crack on and chat?
Please
about
do.
Mine?
I want to know your story.
Okay, so my story again, kind of annoyingly, is from America. I genuinely I was scouring Reddit for fun, happy, feel-good stories from the UK, and there really was nothing popping up.
We just don't work that way.
I know.
We just don't work that way.
I was like, there's no we don't make a big deal of the good things, the little things. So yeah, you don't really see them. Oh.
I do have. I'm so sorry to get before you even started your story. I'm like, give me the floor. I did see one. You know how you see on the internet all the time, like someone in this country dressed up like blah and did blah blah blah, but there's nothing like that here. I wandered past someone the other day, and they had what looked like cut the head off of a giant bunny rabbit teddy, hollowed the inside out, put it over their own head. And they were at the window, like outside of someone's house, just like dancing at them. It was like, there was children inside. And this person had like a basket.
Children. This wasn't just for like some sort of stone 30-year-old. Just like, oh no. Okay, so this was more innocent than my brain let on.
It was definitely more innocent. She had like a basket. She was throwing sweets into their garden. But I cannot tell you how homemade and quite honestly terrifying this bunny head was. Yeah. It really was just like a hollowed out bunny teddy that she had flopped onto her own face. And was just wandering around with. She had cut holes in because obviously it didn't come with mesh eyes. So there was just these horrible hollow sockets she was looking out of. Well, she flossed for these children.
Wow. I mean...
You would never get that in Edinburgh. Never.
Never. One of the first memories that I have of moving to Edinburgh, this was like maybe the most out there story, and it wasn't a stuck-up story, it was just a very welcome to Edinburgh story. And I will tell it now, I can't go back on this, I'm going to say. So
you have to.
I just moved to Edinburgh. This was years ago, like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. And I was walking down the street with a few friends. It was like the centre of Edinburgh. It was the kind of Grassmarket area, if people know Edinburgh at all. And we suddenly were approached by this gentleman who was kind of like all bundled up. He had like a big kind of coat on. He had a big hood over his face. But this guy, he comes over to us and he was just like, here. And he opened his coat and he was holding a pigeon. A pigeon who was alive. He said, I found this pigeon. I think it's broken its wing or it can't walk. I don't know what to do with it. Can you help me? Can you call like the SSPCA? We were standing with this guy for a while and he just wouldn't leave us alone. He was like, please, I don't have a phone. Can you call SSPCA? Help this pigeon out. So I was like, okay. I took the bait and I was like, I'll call them. So I got the phone and I was on the phone to the SSPCA. They were lovely, but they were obviously a bit like, yes, we'll try and pick it up when we can, but it might not be our priority at the moment. And in the duration of my pretty much 2-minute call, this man forced the pigeon onto me. He made me hold this pigeon, and then all I could hear as he ran away was, "It's your problem now." And he ran.
Oh my god!
I was stuck with a pigeon who was very ill.
Oh my god!
It was a welcome to Edinburgh, beautiful welcome to Edinburgh moment.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a very weird story and I'll never forget it. And I'll never forget this guy's glee at having got rid of this pigeon and running out and screaming down the road. And we're like, oh, yeah.
It's your problem now. It's your pigeon now.
Yes. And I was like, maybe this is a great origin story. I don't know. Maybe this is the beginning of an amazing hero.
Pigeon keeping business.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Annabelle's pigeons. Pigeons.
So yeah, basically this story is from America. And it involves Chance the Rapper. You know, Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper genuinely seems like an awesome guy. So, this is the story about Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper, a popular Chicago musician, surprised a Halliwell's middle school teacher with a national award, including $30,000 in prize money, during a virtual awards ceremony. This was just last week.
Cute.
So, basically, he streamed live this award ceremony, Chance the Rapper, and it was apparently like 11 million followers on Instagram watched it. So yeah, basically these awards were presented to people in education who show like real dedication, originality and creativity to engage their students, which I think is a really super idea. And yeah. So Doggett, who was apparently very emotional. He said he'd been engaged in teaching since his sister was born when he was 9. And teaching, he said, made him feel like he had a mission and had a purpose in life. Doggett, who had been working at the school for 3 years, he actually organises an annual hip-hop showcase at the school. And he's so super. And he helps students write, produce and perform their own music. And some of them, like, they play the music when they record them in the hallways at, like, break time and stuff like that. So he's super encouraging of these kids. And he's still going during lockdown. He's apparently, like, I've not seen any, but apparently raps things and lessons to his kids. So they must love him.
Yeah, they must do.
Yeah, it says the lyrics are generally words of encouragement for his students, which has helped them keep motivated. And Chance praised Doggett for his, quote, raw as hell and, quote, super dope approach to teaching.
Nice.
So
that's so nice.
Just a nice, story and a really interesting, cool side to something I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this is what makes me think, like, in UK you never get someone being like, and here's $15,000 or pounds, teacher, for being amazing.
I know, it would be incredible.
Wouldn't happen. Oh, we need more Chance the Rappers, clearly.
But one of my guilty cry pleasures, you know, when you just need to cry.
Oh yes.
So you put on a stream of videos that will just help with that process. One of my ones is good teachers.
Ooh.
Like, you know, like watching videos of teachers who are just like really great. There's this one teacher who has or a video of them where he's standing outside his classroom, and as every student comes forward, he has a personalised handshake with each of them.
Oh no, they're great. And there's like the one with the lady who, they have like a sticker board, don't they? And the kids kind of hit what kind of greeting they want in the day. So it's like,
oh yeah,
you know, either like a wave or a handshake or a hug, and it's like teaching them about boundaries and that they're allowed to also express their boundaries at a young age and say, I don't want to be hugged today. So I think that's a really cool idea. Yeah,
I always find that such a weird thing. Like when I was a kid, I would like you know, hug people all the time or whatever, but I never had to kiss people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it was like older relatives who would lean in for a weird side kiss. You know what I mean?
A little smooch, and I'd be like, I'm all right, actually.
Yeah, I remember very clearly. It was always older relatives, and it was like the time just stopped, and you could just see these like lips puckering and like leaning in, and they're getting closer and closer, and you're just like, oh god, oh, and then there was just a big wet sloppy kiss on your cheek. Ugh.
Right on the cheek, yeah, and you really had to lean that cheek in as well. You had to commit to this, otherwise it'd be like a really awkward, where's the kiss gonna land? Is it on my eye? There's not much surface area on my small young face.
Yeah, you know? It's when they would hold your face as well, and you're like, I can't move. Yeah,
I know, I'm trapped. Oh god.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was, this is actually leading quite well into my like little personal story that I had for this week, because when I was younger, when I was a young kid, I had already very much formed my opinions on quite a lot of things, and I started thinking about this story when I was looking up Frayne, the guy I was talking about earlier on, the luckiest unlucky man, because I was just sitting there thinking, like he must have such a drive to stay alive, you know what I mean? He must just really want to live, and it reminded me of this story from when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And I was in France at a caravan park. Me and my family used to always go to caravan parks every year for a holiday. And this particular caravan park had a pool and a water slide. And this year was the first year that I had like built up the courage to go on it by myself.
Okay.
Because I never used to want to do it because I used to get travel sick, and I thought I'd throw up down the slide. Anyway, so
yeah.
you know how it is.
Travel sick on a slide.
That's I didn't know. I might have.
Oh
no! turns out I didn't, but you know.
Extra slidey.
Yeah. Oh Lord, Annabelle, no. Lordy Lee. Anyway, so this was the first year that I had decided it was time to do it by myself, and go down the slide without my father holding on to me. But it was also near the end of the holiday, and as a child on holiday, I basically spent the entire holiday screaming. You know, just running around and shouting and screaming. So I had no voice left at this point. And I imagined, quite tired. So I was stood at the top of the flume, and I was like waving to my dad, who was sitting on one of the sound loungers, and he was kind of waving back to me. Went down the flume, all's well and good, having a great time, didn't throw up, which is always a plus. And then I got to the bottom, and I went to swim out the pool. But there was a current from the bottom of the slide pulling the water back round under the slide again.
Oh,
and because I was just so small, and because I was so tired, I couldn't get myself out the current. So I'm like doggy paddling trying to get to the edge, and I couldn't get to the edge. I know. And
there was a current in the pool?
There was it must have been the smallest, literally like the vents pulling the water around. But it might have been me being overdramatic, but I, at the time, could not get out of the current. And I started thinking, someone else is going to come down and they're going to land on me. or I'm going to get too tired to keep going. So I was trying to shout for help, but I didn't have any voice left because it was the end of the holiday. So I was just in the pool like, help. Just
That's
like having the worst.
terrifying.
There was a lifeguard on duty who was sat by the flume, but he was just kind of sitting, hanging out, you know, not really paying all that much attention. So at one point, I don't know what the turning point was, but at one point, 6-year-old Cara decided, this must just be my time. and I just stopped swimming.
Oh no.
I just stopped, and my dad said that the way he tells the story is that he saw me at the top of the flume. He didn't see me leaving the pool, so he sat up a little bit, and he said that what he saw was just my face just slowly going under the water with the most serene look in my eyes.
Just like, this is it.
Just, I had accepted it. I was already walking towards the light, and as the sort of water just sort of came up around my cheeks, my dad was like, "What is happening?" So, of course, with the water being so shallow to literally anyone else, he just jumped in, you know, water up to his waist essentially, and just sort of picked me up, and like carried me like a little damsel out of the water while I sort of flopped around in his arms like, "Father, you came for me."
What was it? Did the lifeguard? Did the lifeguard? I can't say lifeguard.
Turns out Annabel has a really hard time with the word lifeguard.
What was he or she? What were they doing?
It was he, and well, after my dad jumped in, obviously the lifeguard kind of jumped up off of his seat to be like, "What is happening?" My dad wandered out with me. My dad, you know, cussed him out and was shouting and bawling and swearing at him. I don't remember that bit very much because before he did that, he brought me over to the sun lounger he was sitting on, and he basically put me on the sun lounger and then wrapped me like a little tortilla, like a little burrito, sorry. Yeah. Just wrapped me up in this big towel that he had and just sort of left me swaddled. So that he could go and shout at the lifeguard, and I just I just lay there accepting that I had cheated death this time.
Whoa. No, this is good. I am feeling exhausted today. I'm so I don't know. I'm just like really struggling. So thank you for chatting. It's really nice. I'm just like
no problem.
Great.
This is exactly what I was saying last week, or maybe I was, or maybe I wasn't, when I read recently about Hell Day, and that is a day during this whole isolation thing where just you can't do anything. You feel terrible, you don't want to do anything at all, you kind of just want to, like, I don't know, stay in bed all day, or sit on the couch and in your pants and eat Doritos or something like that. And the worst thing about Hell Day is that your Hell Day never coincides with other people's Hell Day. Mm-hmm. So you always feel like you're falling behind because on your Hell Day you're seeing everyone else be productive, but in actual fact everyone is getting them. I had Hell Day literally 2 days ago, and I just sat and played PS4 all day. Like, I did not move, and sometimes that's just what you have to do. So, you know, when Hell Day hits, just be kind, do whatever it is that you're capable of doing, and don't do anything else. You've got time. Or
just chat on a podcast.
Or just go onto Zoom with your good pal Cara and listen to her near-death experiences.
I'm into it. I love it. Do you know, that reminds me. We actually briefly, just while we're here, there were a couple of quite nice lockdown coping things that I was actually given, and I think I'll just read them out just because I thought they were really sweet.
Tell me.
The ones I really liked. There was 2 of them, so. It's not going to take long. So I was asking people how they were keeping sane in lockdown and if that was the case. Do you know what's lovely? My mum actually messaged me back and she was like, "I am keeping sane. Is that okay?" Like, yes, mother. Oh, mum. Yeah, I was like, no, it needs to be dramatic. You have to not cope. And so I asked this question and I got a lovely response back from someone in Germany called Leah, and she said that she and her boyfriend, to kind of get over any bad feelings or if they're feeling a bit down one day, or one of them does something that maybe annoys the other one, they have this imaginary colleague in their flat called Cindy, and and basically they blame anything that's not going right on Cindy. So they're just like,
that's amazing.
Isn't it a good idea? It's like, oh, Cindy, oh yeah, she's always leaving the dishwasher like unloaded, or Cindy made me depressed today. Or it's just like, I love it. And it's like everything's blamed on Cindy. So I'm into that.
That is a very good coping mechanism.
Yes.
Cindy's a good co-worker name because it deviates from your normal Karens and Sharons.
Yes.
But in such a way, like, Cindy feels to me like she probably is kind of fucking up a lot, you know? Cindy is the co-worker where you're like, come on, Cindy, you know?
Get it together, Cindy.
You want her to get it. You're on her side, but sometimes Cindy...
Yes.
So, but yeah, wonderful coping mechanism
good. I have another one from Jamie here in Edinburgh. Jamie says, I held a wedding for 2 of my houseplants because I thought they made a cute couple.
Oh no, Jamie. Do you need to reach out?
Are you okay, Jamie?
To be fair, that probably took a fair chunk of a day. So, you know, that's...
Weddings last for a long time in the day, so you know, if you're going to go the full
if you have
bang,
a reception, it goes right into the night.
Absolutely. You know, and I'm guessing he was pretty much wedding coordinator and planner, so there was a lot of, you know, organisation of timings in there, and it
takes quite a while to get ordained as well on the website.
Totally,
you have to wait for. You know, so he would have had to have gotten ordained. He would have had to have set up this wedding. It's a lot of planning, actually. I take back what I said before.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to the happy couple.
Yeah, I hope they last, and I hope that they find a healthy coping mechanism, just like the couple who found Cindy.
Exactly. I hope they thrive. Thrive and survive.
Thrive and survive, baby.
So that was my little detour. But yeah, do you have anything about the thingies?
I had a few responses. I had a few just kind of like sweet normal ones. Like one of my friends, Sharna, she says that something that she's gotten really into is just skincare. She says that she was so used to literally just using the same like body wash or the same, just using shampoo on her face or whatever, which can be.
Oh God, no.
I can be guilty of that as well.
No, Cara,
I know.
That's my nightmare.
I know. My girlfriend Hannah is forever, you know, telling me to stop. Sometimes I have to like sneak the shampoo down onto my face because if she sees me do it, she'll not be very happy. I know I should stop, okay? I will. Maybe I will also become good at skincare. But Sharna is one step ahead of me. She says she's gone from using essentially like a body wash or a shampoo to using like 5 different skincare products on her skin, you know, a day. I'm sure she's absolutely glowing. So that's just like a nice little self-care thing that Sharna's taken on for herself. Someone said that they're getting really into Skillshare. I shouldn't even say their name if they're not sponsoring it. They've gotten really into a skill sharing for money website. But yeah, they're basically just taking class after class after class. Right now that they are doing something that I was doing not long ago, and they're trying to learn the harmonica.
Oh, I never knew you were trying to learn the harmonica.
Yeah, after I learned to juggle, next thing was a much more annoying one of learning the harmonica. I've taken a break more so just because I left my harmonica at my other flat, at my actual flat. I'll get back into it. I enjoy it. I can play one song. Cara's harmonica corner. Well, I have one more. It was actually it was my friend Amy. She wasn't responding to my Instagram post. She was just chatting to me about sort of what she's been doing, and we were just catching up. And she said to me that for some reason over the last week and a half, she has been absolutely taken in by the song Saturday Night. You know, like Saturday Night. Yes, that one. Yes. She says that she listened to it and she was like, oh my God, that's such a tune. And cannot stop.
She'd never heard of it?
No, she'd heard it before. It was like she'd remembered that it was in the world. But she listened to it so much now that she's gotten her flatmates into it. So she said that like one of them will start singing it, but they'll start singing like the bass line. Like one of them will be like dum 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 dum, and then someone else will come in with like Saturday night, Saturday night, and before before she knows it, all four of them have got this 4-part Saturday night harmony.
That sounds she should record that. I would love to see that.
I know.
Like
I said that to her. I said that to her.
That'd be...
She should record that and send it in, and we will play it.
We will play it, and I don't care about copyright. Mm-hmm.
I don't care. We're not getting any money for this anyway.
Yeah, we're just Wakefield. I hope you're cool with that. I hope you're still getting royalties from the plays of Saturday night. That was a tune. Like a tune.
It is a tune. Yeah.
It is a tune. Like I was prime Saturday night when it came out. I was still in primary school. We had our school discos, and
amazing!
It was the best, and it always got everyone on their feet, and we would
always will.
We'd always do the dance. That's probably when we got so hyper, and we would like try and lift each other up. We loved doing sort of like rhythmic gymnastic poses in the middle of the floor, and and the teachers were like, "Oh, get down! We're not short."
Yeah.
But that was a good memory. I think with some of my, I feel like I might have peaked at that point of disco in school, tuck shop, and so good.
Did you guys have J2O? The juice.
We had J2O.
Yeah,
that was actually a little after for me. That was like entering in near the end of primary school. So
J2O came when I was in like I was aware of J2O from like primary 7, first year, second year, those kinds of like discos, and I remember everybody always wanted to buy it because it came in a glass bottle, so everybody always felt like they were drinking like WKD or something. You know?
Yes.
So everyone would wander around with their J2O being like, oh my god, it's so hyper.
I'm so drunk on live.
On live.
We had Panda Pops. Did you ever have that?
Oh yeah, of course. I remember Panda Pops.
They were the staple, and you'd have like cola Panda Pop and orange soda Panda Pop, and then you had cream soda Panda Pop.
Oh, yeah.
And they were sometimes like I think we used to have like in primary school like our Christmas kind of a Christmas meal thing. Where it was like obviously once a year, and we'd all get to sit in the canteen and have our like special Christmas dinner, and they would lay out the Panda Pops like one table. I love that it was a time where it was cool to just throw Panda Pop at all the children. No one cared about anything in there. And God help you if you had the space that had the cream soda in it and there was nothing left. Ugh, can't even.
Oh, the worst.
Why?
The worst.
So shall I talk about my recommendation for the week?
Yes, please do. I want to know. What have you been doing this week that's been keeping you sane?
So this is not something I've been doing, but it's something I've been listening to that for me has just brought boundless joy. Boundless is actually quite a good kind of hint at what it is. So it's actually a piece of music, and it's called Attaboy.
Attaboy?
As in, come here, doggy. Attaboy.
Oh, yeah. Attaboy, yeah. Okay.
Attaboy, no.
Attaboy. Attaboy, okay.
So it's this lovely 4-piece string. I want to say string, but it's not just string like, old classical music string instruments. So it's performed by 4 very talented musicians called Yo-Yo Ma, who's a very, very well-known cellist. I hadn't heard about him.
Oh, yeah.
But I listened to more of his stuff and he's brilliant. A chap called Stuart Duncan, Edgar Meyer, and Chris, I believe, Thiel. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. And it's from a album called The Goat Rodeo Sessions. And the music is what you would imagine if you were running through a cornfield. It's the 1930s. You've got your yellow golden lab or golden retriever by your side, and you're just skipping through those cornfields with not a care in the world. And that is basically how I feel when I listen to Attaboy.
That's so nice.
It's beautiful and it's so lively. And they've got when we post this, actually I'll put a link to their
good idea
thing on YouTube, and you can listen to it, because it's just been really kind of helping me get up. Myself and my partner Christian, we listen to it most mornings. Actually, it's like a little routine we've got.
That's nice.
So we're just like, and we just kind of go up, we get our coffee, and start the day. So that is my recommendation / go listen to something enjoyable this week. How about you?
That's awesome. Yeah. Mine is also kind of like a morning thing, like morning routine kind of thing as well. Mine it's like a few mixed into one. The first one is, I find that it's not always easy, and only do it on the days where you feel like you can, but I really do think it's helpful to get up fairly early.
Yeah.
You know, like, we set an alarm every day. Hannah, my partner, still works full time, but you know, she can kind of start at whatever point of the day she wants to start. But we will still set an alarm for 7:15 every morning.
Yeah.
And for a while, we were setting the alarm for 7:15. The alarm was going off, and we were going back to sleep. Then we were actually waking up around about 9 or so, and then we would slowly make our way up and out of the bed. But recently, we decided, Hannah sort of pulled out her old basketball, and there is a basketball court nearby, so we thought, let's get up with the alarm, let's go play basketball before you have to start work. And it has completely changed how I feel in the morning.
That's so I love that idea.
It's so nice. Like, we get up, we're essentially like going back to the sort of childhood that we've been talking about. It's like we get up and then we go out to play. It's so nice. We walked down the street, and of course it's still quite early in the morning, and Hannah will bounce the ball just a couple times in the street, really loudly, really obnoxiously, so that everybody knows that the town b-ball stars are out and ready to go. The town ballers is what she calls us.
Hell yeah.
And then we just go, we don't even play basketball, we literally just go and try and get it in the hoop.
I mean, isn't that basketball?
Well, that's a part of it, I guess. But we just stand there and throw it at the hoop until it goes in a couple times, and then we go back home. And it's always so much fun. And the other day when we were doing it, we stopped to play another childhood memory. We stopped to play Kirby. Did you ever play Kirby?
Oh, no. Is that when you kick the ball at the curb? Okay.
So maybe other people kick it. I never kicked it. I wasn't very good at kicking things when I was a child. But it's where one of you stands on one curb, one of you stands on the other curb, and you throw the ball, or I would throw the ball, and you try and have it hit the curb and bounce back to you.
Yes. Okay. No, I remember this now. We were more like wheelies and going on back of bikes and of gangland related.
Oh god.
No.
And gangs.
That was just a crazy gang. We actually had a gang when I was in primary school, slight tangent, called the Road Raiders, and we were a cycling bike gang, and we would have lovely little trees as dens, and we would rule the roads.
Oh, wonderful. Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, I'm sure you did.
So that was, yes. Anyway, back to Kirby. I know what you mean now.
But yeah, I used to play Kirby a lot when I was a kid. And because I played it so much, I forgot about all of the natural fears that would come with playing Kirby now. We had to find a huge stretch that didn't have any cars on either side, and that just happened to be Hannah was stood in front of someone's house and I was stood in front of a river. So she was terrified to play the game in case the ball went in the river, and then the ball did go over into the neighbour's garden, and I had to do that sort of sneaky thing of getting in through the gate and sneaking past the window and grabbing the ball. And Hannah was like, I'm out, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, this is too dangerous for me.
People are going to stare at us. They're going to be very, very stern. They're going to stare at us.
Someone is going to shake their fist at me, and I'm not here for it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so aside from the Kirby, which is a wonderful thing in amongst itself, just like getting up and like making yourself go do something in the morning has been setting me up to have a way better day.
Yeah.
Like, one of the days that we did it, we woke up at the time we were supposed to wake up. We super did not want to go outside. Like, neither of us wanted to go outside. Neither of us wanted to get up. And, like, it was such a slog to make us actually get up and go out. And then we did it, and it was so nice.
Yeah.
And, like, just so fun. And, like, when we came back, we were in such a better headspace to actually get some stuff done. So that's my recommendation, is get up, wake up slightly earlier, set an alarm for yourself, get back in a good sleeping pattern, and then whatever it is in the morning, try and get up and out for a little bit.
Yeah, that's just prime awesome advice. And it's when you sort of hear advice like that, you're in your head, you're like, ugh, I know I should do this or whatever. Should is a bad word, by the way. But you kind of think, oh, it's so simple, like how will that make me feel better? But when you do it, like building just these little things into your routine, and you suddenly start to feel like loads better, and it's just that is it.
Really helps.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've been getting up quite early in the week. Obviously I have like work sometimes, still like at work at home, but I always feel better for not having sort of lied in. And I'm one of those people anyway, like those annoying people that cannot lie in. I wake up and I'm up, and I'm just like, I'm typical like type A personality where you're just like, okay, what's on the list today? Do, which is in itself not always healthy. But yeah, I like the fact that you're going out and you're doing something just to completely forget about everything else, and you're also getting fresh air, and you're just like waking up. Yeah, I stand in the garden in the morning and I breathe. I just breathe really consciously, like, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, classic. But it's lovely, and it really helps me.
It's so helpful. It really is helpful. I mean, you've got a wonderful excuse to go outside because of your lovely little puppy.
Puppy, yes, I
yes,
do.
You've got such a wonderful excuse to go and stand in the garden and not look strange.
Oh, we should say. So I don't know if I was saying, like, Maisie's my puppy, and she had a bit of a terror about a month and a half ago. A doggy had decided to chase her in the park. Nothing serious or bad happened. She just is so small, and this dog was a bit bigger and
so small. What is she? A mix between a Chihuahua and a Shih Tzu?
Shih Tzu.
Is it?
Technically, yeah, they call them Shih-Chis. But
oh my goodness,
I feel a bit poncy saying that, so I'm just like, Shih Tzu Chihuahua cross.
Yes, she's tiny.
Yeah, she's a wee baby. Sure. Post pictures and stuff. I do anyway, loads of them. So we had been struggling to get her back into the park for almost a month and a half. Every time we'd attempt to walk to that area, she just wanted to turn back. She wasn't happy, and I don't want to force her to go. It's not going to help her. So she would come back, and I should have thought of this earlier because it's really so simple. I started to take a little plastic cup of chicken with me.
Back to the chicken.
to the park. And I'm like, I look like a mad lady. Like right now, my hair is usually all over the place and just like messily tied up, and I have no makeup on, and I've got like the most roughest clothes on, and then I have this cup of chicken and I'm just like walking down the street like, all right. So yes, people naturally anyway cross the road. It's brilliant, it's perfect. But that's really helped her, and she's so happy to be back in the park. She's enjoying it again, and just enjoying. Yeah, so fully recommend it. Food is a great motivation
for dogs, for cats, and for people. I'm not gonna lie, if we met up and you gave me a cup of chicken, I would eat it.
Hell yeah,
I'd have it. I'd be happy to have it.
Just throw it in your face. This is partly like why we probably called this podcast breakfast food, because I love breakfast food. We've not really talked about actual breakfast food, but
I know. Well, all we wanted to do was make a name that made us happy, and breakfast food makes us happy.
Yeah, I'm so simple, really.
It's the simple pleasures in life.
I agree, and I so miss just eating. I miss waffles, and like I mean, I could go buy these things, but it's not the same. We want to go out and kind of have a wee treat, but yeah, like waffles with bacon and maple syrup. I miss that, and I actually also am really missing French toast, and I don't usually eat French toast. It's not a thing I usually go to, but for some reason my mind, my body, my soul is just saying you must make French
just
toast.
Craving French toast.
Yeah, so
I really miss Nando's.
Oh yes.
And I don't really go to Nando's that often. I think in the last year I've been to Nando's one time.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I think we were me and my partner were talking about it the other day, and we talked about Nando's, and she was like, "Oh, I would love a Nando's. I really miss Nando's, blah, blah, blah." And we have that peri peri salt at home, and we were like, okay, well, let's just get like a different takeaway of just like chicken and let's just like use the peri peri salt and the chips and it'll be the same. And one bite of it and we were both like, it's not the same. Just so angry.
It's the vibe just as well. Like when you're in Nando's, me and Christian are like, it's like we're going on holiday. It's so sad, but it's like it's so warm and like there's the music and we're like, ugh.
Yeah. It is, I know. And the thing is, like, I don't even take full advantage of the Nando's. I go there, and if I'm not asking for plain-ish, then I'm asking for something very similar. Yeah. Like, I really do not take full advantage of the range of sauces. Hannah will get a hot chicken, and then she'll put extra hot sauce on every bite.
Oh my.
I mean, as in extra hot.
Oh my, Hannah.
On every bite. Like, she's just going for it. She is amazing at Nando's, and I'm some sort of Nando's novice.
She wins Nando's.
she wins Nando's. She does such a good job at Nando's.
That's awesome. I'm the exact same as you.
So
I get like the mild thing, and then maybe I max out to like a medium spice of sauce. So
yeah. If people didn't know until this point, they have now just realised that we are both extremely white.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Massively.
Plainish chicken is good enough for me. Salt is a seasoning.
Yeah. It's like, I guess I can put a sprinkle on, but better be careful.
Gotta be careful of that cayenne. Yeah. So, I guess we're done. I guess that's everything for this week. Would you like to plug any of your social media?
Not really. I mean, you can find me. I'm Annabel Logan. You're all very welcome to find me on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter at Burnt Out Bulbs. Instagram is quite annoying, but it's at Annabel.
Oh, here we go again.
.l.o.g.a.n, or just type in Annabel Logan Comedy and you'll probably find me much easier that way.
Nice.
Yes, and I am aware. I'm just gonna like reiterate that, you know, this week's been a hard week for me. I feel a bit lethargic and a bit kind of like I can't be funny, crazy. So it's quite nice just to sit and chat, and there's no expectation. And I hope you guys have found it just nice just to listen and sit with us as well, you know?
There's never any expectations when we sit down to do this. I think the thing that I like so much about it is sitting down to have a chat. And whether the chat is funny or whether the chat is whatever else it can be, like, I still think it's nice to sit and do it and still make something from it, you know. I try to limit my Zooms as much as I can because for some reason they usually just absolutely drain me. So usually I'm not much of a Zoom or Skype person. But I always enjoy this one, whether we've got high octane energy, or whether we're a bit more mellow. So no worries.
No, I love it. No, it's been really fun. And anyway, I've detracted my words.
No, not a problem. They can only find me on one place anyway. You can find me on Instagram at cara.mckinley, and that is it. I don't have any of the other ones. Please listen to episode 1 if you haven't listened to episode 1. Thank you for getting to this point in this episode. If you've gotten this far, well done you. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Have a good breakfast.
Bye bye.